Possession going back over to Dallas here, a team who lost last week to Washington 20-17, and that was on the heels of that Week 6 blowout win they had over Jacksonville 40-7. But that loss against Washington, the field goal hitting off the upright after the penalty, a tough one to swallow.
It certainly was, because it became a 52-yard field goal attempt for Brett Maher. Should have been 47, and ends up doinking it off the the upright, not the crossbar. And Dak Prescott, he had been 4-0 against Washington in his short career prior to Sunday's loss. A tough game for him as well.
That good for 22 and a first down. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Two minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. Second down, Prescott. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Telvin Smith. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack? It's 3rd and long. Prescott from the gun. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
They'll toss it to Fournette. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, here's Fournette. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Bortles. Oh, he almost had the rare interception. The big fella couldn't hang on, though. Incomplete.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown 1 interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And out now come the Cowboys. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And a movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. So they boot it through, and now we're all square after 2 quarters of play.
And what's that great term you taught me? They're level, right? They got back to level. Now they get to go back in the locker room, regroup, and start over in the second half.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
No matter the week, no matter the team, you're going to hear coaches wax nostalgic for big tight ends that can control the edge of the line of scrimmage. Well, sometimes you don't have a tight end in the game, so now you're looking at your tackles. Can they control the perimeter? Make sure that that gets sealed off so there's no penetration off of the edge. If they're able to do that, that's why a toss play is successful. Because once they get to the edge, they can pick and choose their spot, which way to run, whether it's deep outside or cutting it back inside to pick up big yardage. On that play, they controlled the edge so well, they picked up an excellent chunk of yardage.
On second down, Elliott. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first. Prescott now. He spins free. Austin's got it left side. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. Prescott to throw it. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A second down throw for Prescott. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Cowboys on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
It's about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Dumps it off to Fournette. A very solid gain of 27.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. The Jags do snap it. It's Bortles. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Bortles now on 1st down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing.
Touchdown, Jaguars! A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jaguars have moved out in front. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finish off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And some space here. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Prescott now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. The give is to Elliott. They'll get it to the 23-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Again, it's Elliott. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Calais Campbell in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
They begin with a run by Fournette. Fournette fighting through. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with in the game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Bortles on the give to Fournette. And an alley to run. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped.